afternoon and welcome to another episode of Vantage Point. I'm Lisa Hamilton. Today we're here with the presidential candidate of the United Republican Party, URP, Dr. Vishnu Bandhu, and we're here to talk a bit about the URP and the 2020 general and regional elections. But as we begin, Dr. Bandhu, I'd like you to tell us a bit about the URP, when it was formed, why it was formed, by whom, and everything else that you can tell us about the party.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for having me here also. The URP was formed in 1985 in New York when things were very bad in Guyana. The Burnham dictatorship was going on, and lots of wrong things had been happening. People had been fleeing from the country, being killed, a lot of things had been happening. And I am one of the first publishers for Caribbean newspaper in New York called the Caribbean Awake. And people, Guyanese, used to complain to me and say what's happening with their family come here, they get raped, they get killed, they get robbed, and everything like that. And I decided to put myself, put a group together. Myself and Robert Gangadin, he was the first leader of the URP, Rohan Somnarayan, and a few others. We are able to put the URP together, and we start campaigning in United States and Canada all through, where we are able to get Guyanese to help us out those days. We are one of the first people that able to start to lobby for Jimmy Carter to come here. Okay. Right? We are mostly involved in getting Jimmy Carter here, is the URP. Right? But we didn't get no credit for those things. PPP take all the credit. When we came here, we formed ourselves into the PCD movement, Patriotic Coalition for Democracy. It was the URP, it was the DLM, WPA, and the PPP. And we have been working together in a common way to get rid of the dictatorship government, PNC. We have achieved that with the understanding that Dr. Chedijagan promised us. Because we usually have meetings actually every week, every other week, and so forth, discussing strategy, how to remove the PNC. But we asked for only two things. We asked Dr. Jagan for one, is to revive the Constitution. Because nobody should be like a god in this country. Everybody should be reporting to the people what happened, who in charge. Right? He promised to do that, and we also asked to revive the law and order section. Because without proper law and order in a country, it can't function properly. Right? He promised wholeheartedly he will do that. He formed what you call the PPP Civic. Right? He had a saying at that time, winner would not take all, that he will share his government. Right? When he won the election, we contest also. All of us contest individually. Right?
That was in what year?
That is 1992.
Okay.
When we contest the election, we know that he will win the election. Right? His promise to revive the Constitution, he was in power for 3 years, he never attempted to do it. The promise of having proper law enforcement, he never even attempted to do it. Right? So all those things go along the way because we trusted him that the PPP will make a difference in Guyana. But they did not make a difference in Guyana.
But before we get into all of that, so I understand that the URP was formed because they were disgruntled or they were not satisfied with the government of the day.
Yeah, because there's no democracy.
Okay.
Right? And that's how the URP formed. Mm. When the URP came here in 92, they didn't came for government, to take government. They came to assist, to make a difference in Guyana. And a lot of people do not understand that about the URP until today. Right? Then we came back 5 months before the 2015 election. And we had able to contest all 9 regions we contest and all the national in 2015. We know that we would not won an election. I don't think our vote also, it had been counted fairly. I think that the URP had seat in the 2015 election. But it was not counted fairly because even most of our polling agents did not even get to go in the polling stations. What did GCOM tell us? That they didn't give us the card for the polling agents. They said we should write it on a letterhead and give it and present it there. When we do that, nobody get to go in.
Okay, so
Right?
there are some concerns.
Yes.
But as we move down to that, let me first help the public to understand a little bit more about the URP. Could you please give us a significance of the URP's logo?
Oh, the cow head?
Yes, the cow.
Well, we choose the cow head because the cow is the most important animal on the face of the earth. Has nothing to do with Indian or things like that. Yeah? Every human being have benefit of a cow. We grow in the cow milk. Some people praise the cow. Some people use the meat of the cow. They use the skin of the cow. They use the horn as ornament. Even the waste matter of a cow is the best fertilizer we ever had.
It's a very vital animal.
Yeah,
Okay.
vital animal. Even the urine, it's very vital. So that is why we choose the cow, because of the importance of a cow. Right?
Okay.
Has nothing to do with religion or anything like that. It's benefit to all human beings.
The cow.
The cow.
Okay. And for our viewers to understand an update of the URP right now, you would have recently handed in your list to GCOM. Could you just state which list you handed in, and if not all, which constituencies you're contesting in?
We handed in all 10 region and national lists.
Okay.
We have handed in, we were the first in line to hand in our list. We were there 2 nights prior to the handing in of the list. But for some reason, the PNC walk in straight and get a number as number 1 and pretend their list.
Yeah, I understand that there were some concerns there
Yeah.
with GCOM, some sort of correspondence there.
It was a big concern because you're talking about democracy in Guyana. And if you are the government, and GCOM is supposed to be an independent set of people, not to take sides. And if you take sides, well, that's very bad.
Well, I was told that it doesn't matter who came how many nights before, but on the said day, whoever. But I wasn't there, so I wouldn't go too much into it.
That is what they say, that it comes from the day of the thing.
Yeah,
but even so, of the day of the thing, we were still there.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I wouldn't.
We were still there, and the PNC sending their people, they walk in, and they get some kind of number from them, and then they come and, Mr. Lowenfield, come out and tell the people outside, I have to get a number inside. Only then they said that, Before they never said that.
So there was a mix-up.
Right.
But back to the list, could you tell us what it was like for the party getting these lists together?
Well, I must tell you, the URP hasn't any problem in non-region to fill their list, because technically we had to get actually 400 original signature for each region. Right? URP hadn't got a problem. In fact, every one of the region up to now in my office, we have extra signatures, like 50, 60, 100 extra for each region.
You hadn't the challenge of some other small parties?
We did not have no challenge whatsoever.
Okay.
You see, the URP has a track record, right? And it has people on the ground to do its thing. When they take 2 weeks and 3 weeks to get a region, we did it in 3 days.
And most recently, GCOM would have notified you of a defective list. This means that there were some minor errors or so.
Well, the minor error is that they told us to take everything from the website, how much candidate for each area, right? And we work according to the list that they had the candidate. Now they are saying that Some of the areas we gotta get like 11 candidates, more like Region 5. I worked there yesterday and get 11 candidates. Some area gotta get one. Some candidate was name was on other list and so forth. Although they say they never signed for a party, but that automatically happened. Okay. And I know this kind of behavior because in the local government, we had candidates who are leading our list on the West Demara, where I'm from, Region 3, and he never signed for the PPP. But when we submit our list, they said his name is on the PPP. So he had to go and he had to write, he wrote them a letter, get it notarized and show them, he said he never ever signed for PPP and let them take his name immediately off of that list and replace it back to his party where he's from, the URP. And they had to do it. So we have those kind of things that where these big party, they randomly go and take out names from the list that they have posted up all over as their candidate. We work house to house for our people because we want them to understand what they are signing for and what they're doing, because a lot of people are not educated in Guyana politically. So we are trying to help to educate them, for them to understand. And we are also telling them, if you sign on anybody else's list before, our people tell them, don't sign on our list.
Okay.
If you know.
So you're helping to educate them.
Yes. And if you sign on our list, please don't sign on other people's lists.
So with regards to the issues there with the list and GCOM, you have that sorted out now?
Oh yes, we got it sorted out. We have, we go with their requirements. We have everything already prepared. Just we'll hand it in the next couple hours. We have no problem in it.
Okay, well that's good. And we know with the recent fallout in the National Assembly with regards to those who hold dual citizenship, you two were supposed to relinquish yours. Could you give us an update on that?
Well, I am relinquishing my dual citizenship. I sent a letter to the American Embassy in the 2nd of this month. Okay. I'm hoping to have a meeting with them today, to verify everything is okay. And I'm relinquishing because I'm a Guyanese. Every hair on my body is Guyana, right? And that's how I feel. I came here, I leave my family and came here. I have no relative actually in Guyana, but I want to help. I come here to serve, not to be served.
Okay.
Right? And I must tell you this too. I'm the only politician in this country spend his own money on politics. Nobody gives me anything. Right?
Self-funded.
I fund my party with my money, not people's money.
Okay.
Right? I was hoping that people will see what we are doing and they will open their heart and come and help. But nobody does that.
So that there already is a challenge of a party smaller than some of the other big ones. Now, as we get into a bit about elections history and the URP, I want to read a little thing here so that persons can get a better understanding. The party first contested in 1992 in the general elections, but you only gained a little over 1,300 votes.
No, at that time we gained 1,800 votes. 1,800 votes,
okay. Then the party took a break and contested again in 2015. This time you got, and correct me again if I'm wrong, around little over 400 votes?
No, we have 1,100 votes.
1,100 votes, okay. Now this year, March 2020, the party will be contesting again. So I want to ask a series of questions. After your first attempt in 1992, what caused the gap between then and 2015?
Because we had trusted the PPP will do the right thing.
When you say the right thing, what do you mean?
Well, you mean carrying out law and order in Guyana, change the constitution, and Cheddy's supposed to be an honest politician. We thought that they will do the right thing. But his 3 years in government, he didn't even attempt to do those things, what he promised us he will do. Right? In fact, after the election, I personally went to him. I said, Doc, you said winner wouldn't take all. You know what his answer was to me? Who do you think is PPP Civic? Who is PPP Civic? PPP Civic was PPP. It's only name they're playing with, right? But because of this wrong thing that had been going on in Guyana, on the 23 of the PPP, we think it was unfair. So the same party that we assist to go in government with all the PPP, we came back and are fighting against them because there's no democracy, as I can see what's going on in Guyana. There was a lot of mismanagement. You can see people who are ministers and who are this, didn't have even proper pants to wear a shoe. Overnight they become billionaire in Guyana. They have property overseas, they have a resort here, they have all kind of thing going on, you know, and check the place where they live in. And who money is spending there? It's the taxpayers of this country, the poor people. In Guyana, money has been mismanaged.
Okay, so the URP was once again, unsatisfied, I would say.
Yes.
They needed a change of government. Now, in 2015, you gained fewer votes than the last year that you contested. What is the confidence that you have this year?
We gained less of votes than the first time.
Yes.
Right? The reason for that, we just came 5 months, tried to organize people all over and put it. And as I said, I am sure we had more votes because someone in the GCOM area told me that URP had 2 seats in 2015 election. Somebody from Buxton told me that.
Well, that's another matter.
Right?
I don't have...
No, I'm telling you, you know, what if it's true or what, but I know we had more votes than what we had because we did not get to put our agent them to the polling station. So
being that you mentioned this twice, being that you have this concern in this year round, you will be ensuring that scrutineers are there.
We are hoping that we'll have scrutineers in all the polling stations, if not all, many. Right? We'll have scrutineers.
So you can be certain this time
that yes, things are happening.
So
yeah, okay.
Why I asked you, based on the votes that you received in the past and now 2020, would you say that your support base, your amount of supporters has grown over the years, that you're certain that in 2020 URP can make a greater impact?
Yes, I'm certain about that. Because, you know, the URP is a political party here come to serve, not to be served. And I must tell you this, that over 80% of our candidates are young people. Over 80%, not old people.
Which region do you receive your greatest support?
Region 2.
Oh, okay.
Right? But most of them are young people, all over. Right? Because URP are trying to make a platform for the younger generation. You know, URP is a young people parties. I'm only heading it. But this is the platform I'm trying to provide for the younger generation. Because how long these 2 major political parties is in Guyana, I am not seeing any change in Guyana for the younger generation. It's only promises have been made. But I'm also disappointed with the young people. Because the young people talk about jobs, they talk about work, they're not getting it, but they're not trying to get involved in the political system to make a difference. They prefer to sit down home and relax or be in the rum shop or somewhere. You know, young people have to be serious. They got to get serious.
Indeed.
You know, if they want to have a real change. You have to make the sacrifice to make a difference in Guyana. And I'm hoping, I don't know how long God will permit me with my health and strength, but I'm hoping that before I leave the face of the earth, before I exit, that the young people will be able to catch themselves and do something in Guyana for themselves.
Have you already decided on a prime ministerial candidate?
Yes, but we will be announcing that on the launching of our manifesto.
Okay.
At Carol Lodge on Wednesday the 15th at 5 p.m.
Okay. And something else I want to ask. Should the party not receive the support that you're anticipating in the 2020 elections, will this prove to be a deal breaker? Will you not contest in the next elections?
No. If the party will keep on going, you know, it has to keep on going. Because I am seeing URP is the only real change for Guyana. Real change I'm talking, is the URP. They have no other party, you think, with leadership, honesty, sincerity, thinks about who put God first, is the URP. Right? And URP is the one who will make a difference in Guyana. And URP is the one who will bring people together. We are all people's party. We're not an Indian party. We're not a black party. We're not a Amerindian party. We are a people's party. Everybody have a place in the URP. And I must tell you this. Should we win the general election, not everybody in the PNC is bad. Not everybody in the PPP is bad. Although we are not announcing it, we'll tell you that we will take people from these parties who we think are honest and who really want to serve Guyana.
When you say take people, you mean people who may leave these parties and want to join the URP?
Yeah.
But would the URP consider joining another party?
No.
No coalition?
No coalition.
Why so?
They have all access, because our thinking is totally different than they are. You know, we are a free enterprise party. There are communists, there are socialists, you know, and all the other party, even Badal party had asked us to come together, you know, to join. Every one of these small parties that form, they think that it's so easy to run a political party. If it was so easy, they should have able to contest all 10 regions too, right? The only 3 parties that contest the 10 regions is the APNU, the PPP, and the URP. And that proves that the URP is the third force in Guyana.
Okay.
Right?
And you can say that because you've been, well, in the so-called game for so long.
Yes.
You've been contesting
years.
Yes.
So we are the third force in Guyana. You know, these smaller political party, I can't see they get seats. Right? Because it takes a long time. Remember how many years we are in this thing? In this political arena?
What about if a party requests to be joined with you?
We have an open arm, but we don't.
They would have to dismantle and come individually.
We will not collate. Even yesterday, one of them asked to be with us. I tell them, look, the URP policy, it's open. All you can come aboard the URP and join, but don't talk about coalition, because you are nowhere to talk about coalition. You formed 3 weeks or 2 months or 3 months ago. You know, you don't have no base.
And the thing, well, what I would have heard is that many of these small parties, the leaders are unwilling to give up the presidential candidate.
That's a problem. That's the biggest problem. Everybody want to be president. Everybody want to be prime minister. And they just formed only 2-3 months ago. You know, and they want to that's the biggest problem we are having in Guyana. Power. Everybody wants power.
And that leads me to my next question, because there's an understanding in Guyana based on what persons would have seen over the years. They seem to think that small parties don't stand a chance against the bigger guns. We can understand why, because Guyana is almost split, some for the PPP, some for APNU, AFC. But how do you see the value of small parties? You yourself would be termed as a small party, although you've been contesting for so many years. How do you see the value of small parties?
The only value I see in the small parties, many of them recognize that the parliament should not be controlled by one political party. Right? Like if we had, let us say URP had a few seats in there, and they didn't have a majority seats in parliament for one of the party, right? It means they could not have do the thing that they're doing right now. Right? Because they will have to vote to get that passed.
Yeah.
But now, because of the party politics, everything what that party say must carry. There's no true democracy in Guyana. URP are talking about true democracy. URP are talking about real change, not an exchange from PNC, PPP, PNC. You know, we are not talking about that. You know, because you will find, look, you see all the rally PNC have, majority of blacks there. All the rally that PPP has, majority of Indian. We don't want an Indian party and a black party in Guyana. We want a political party for all people. And that's the only party is URP for that.
And do you think that the small parties that you mentioned would have been formed either shortly after the no confidence motion would have passed or very close to this election?
No,
do you think
close to the election? When I hear about the election,
you think that's a good strategy?
No, wrong, bad strategy, wrong. And many of these small parties, check the leader where they come from, which one of the grouping they come from, the AFC, the PPP, or whatsoever they come from. Right? URP can come from nowhere. URP is an independent set of people. Right? We are not supporting those people. So whatever we are doing here, we are doing it from our heart. We are doing it with love. You know, whatever we are doing. We are looking for honest people. We are looking for sincere people. We are looking most of all people who believe that there's a God and God sees whatever we are doing on the face of the earth. And we are focusing on our younger generation because we know you, the younger generation, is the future of tomorrow.
And as you mentioned future, my next few questions will be talking about the future of Guyana. Once again, correct me if I got my information wrong, but you are a farmer, a laborer, also a bus driver prior to becoming a politician. So you've been on the ground. And a businessman. You've been on the ground. So with oil wealth coming to Guyana, you would have rubbed shoulders with these people from different classes, etc.
Yes.
What do you see as what Guyanese want the most from Guyana's oil wealth? And with hopeful representation in Parliament, what would the URP advocate for?
Well, the URP right now, although we didn't launch our manifesto, I'll tell you right away some of the things on the manifesto. We are asking for 75% reduction on fuel immediately.
When you say immediately?
If we get in government tomorrow.
Okay.
Right? 75%, because if your fuel reduce, then your transportation reduce, your GPL reduce. You know, you will be able to attract more manufacturing company. You will be able to attract more industries in Guyana. We will be able to have 24-hour electricity in Guyana, no blacked out. Right? And these are some of the things that it will do. Also, we are saying that a refinery should be built in Guyana.
You're in support of an oil refinery.
Right? Yeah, we have always been in support of that. Oil refinery. In fact, on our platform and our opening of our office in Linden, we are the first one who spoke about building a refinery in here. So it creates jobs. And most of all, the waste matter from the oil, we need it badly. You're talking, number one is asphalt. We got gas, we got plastic, we got grease, and so forth. We got quite a few things. And if you were able to send your oil in Trinidad, what they're proposing to do, to refine, then they get all the waste product and they will intend to sell it back to us. But if we have it here, we are a green country. We need to build our country. We need to create jobs for our young people. You know? And these are the kind of thing, and I'm coming back talking about young people. I am not in favor of this government. They promised the young people in the last election that they will get job, they will get this, and they will get that, but all their heads and deputy heads are old folks. Or let us say that the young people don't have the experience. But how would you get experience if you didn't get a chance? Right? So why didn't you put these young people second or third in charge or something so that they can learn from the experienced people?
And as you mentioned jobs, we know that PPP presidential candidate Mr. Irfan Ali would have mentioned, or he continues to pitch this 50,000 job creation as soon as they get into office. How would the URP work to create jobs for Guyanese? What is your plan in mind?
Create more industries, create manufacturing companies. We are focusing heavily not on oil. Oil is a basis for us. Our main focus is on agriculture. because agriculture gets us so far, right? We are seeing that, like for instance, they break up the sugar estate, right? The sugar estate has been creating jobs for thousands of people, right? Now you break this, you said sugar is not paying, right? You spend billions of dollars to make the infrastructure of these estates. Why are we taking, if sugar is not paying, why don't we move to a different crop? Why you take the sugar estate and ship it up and making schemes and so forth like that?
So are you in support of the current divesting of the sugar estate to make it more viable?
Yes, but not to go into villages or
processing and other means.
So
you're not in favor of reopening the sugar estates?
We are in favor of reopening sugar estate, right? For even our consumption, right? If we can't pay outside, but I know the sugar estate can pay, because all over the world it pays. Why we can't pay? Because of bad management. You know, if I tell you some history of sugar estate, how they operate, bad management. And you can't put somebody who doesn't know the thing. If you give a man a cutlass to weed and he never weed, he can't weed. You got to take all day to weed a little square.
So you would give it another go, but under better management?
Better management, yes. You know, so you can't close down thing if you can't create job for people. You're running a country. Running a country is one of the biggest type of business. You have to have business-minded people to run a country.
And you're saying that the URP would cater for jobs mostly in the agriculture sector too?
Right now, yes. We are talking about that. We are talking about but drop, you know, in the agriculture section, give duty-free fertilizer and things like that. Bring down the cost of production. So if we bring down the cost of production, then we can compete against the outside market.
And what about crime? We know that that's a main concern for many Guyanese.
That's our biggest concern, crime. We will be able to put our police at real work. I know a lot of the police takes bribe and things like that because they don't even have enough to feed their family. Bribery and corruption comes up because people don't have enough to feed their family. Our cost of living is more than what we earn. So they have to get it somewhere. The URP is saying these people their salary must raise. If we raise their salary and we caught them taking bribe, they're in big trouble.
And another concern of Guyanese is that while many parties altogether mention promises and plans, etc., Guyanese are concerned that I can simply say my plan is to build 4 skyscrapers for Guyana, but do I have an outline of how I will achieve my various objectives along the way? Does the URP have...
For instance, talk about oil refinery. We already know where we can get people to come build oil refinery. We already know where we can get people to build bridges. You know, see, I live more than half of my life overseas. I have been a businessman actually all my life, right? In Canada, in US, and so forth. I don't believe that people who are in government should have businesses. I had businesses. When I started 2015 election, I stopped all my business. I focused on what I'm doing. Because it will be a conflict of interest. Right? When you have business and you are in government, you try to get duty free, you try to get this, you try to get that, and so forth. Right? So it becomes a conflict of interest. If you really want to serve your country, serve your country. Right? When you get out of the position, go create your business where you want. You know, and that's my point of view. You know, don't middle your business with the state's business.
But you have a plan when it comes to all of these different goals within your manifesto?
Yes, we have a plan. We have been talking about something called stimulus program. If you're working for less than $100,000, we have money will kick in, even from the oil or from the agriculture section or what have you, kick in to meet your needs of $100,000.
Is this a form of a cash transfer?
No. It will be a form of, if you need food, you get to buy food. If you need books or you need school fee, we'll pay direct, not to give people cash.
Your needs and not your wants.
Right, not your wants. Because we have seen our people in action where those things concern. Right? People, like when PPP was giving out the $10,000 for student, right? I know people who never even look at their children. They pick up 5 of their children, they came at the school and they said, look, these are 5 children we got, and they never spend no money for them kids and collect $50,000.
But they would have promoted on their campaign that they plan to bring that back should they be reelected into office. And
no, I don't think so. See, there's a lot of promises from the PPP and the PNC. And our people have been misled so much. You'll find some area, Indian area, where have PPP support. The government build their roads now. And you're going to hear the PPP go around and say, oh, we did put in for build that road. 5 years ago, you did put in, you wasn't there, you couldn't build the road. But the government build the road. What is fair is fair, right? The government build the road, and you can go and broadcast now to the people in the area. They're so stupid, you know, that PPP had money been saved up there for build this road.
So you're saying that people need to think for themselves and not simply just...
Of course, you got to think for yourself, because we have a budget every year. This year budget, we'll spend on next year projects, right? So how PPP come out of an office 5 years ago, and 5 years ago then left money there to build this road? Nonsense. It don't work like that.
And
you know?
As we wrap up here, I want to ask you this critical question. Guyanese watching might think we've never had the URP in power, sitting in the National Assembly. What would you say to give them the confidence that a URP in representation in government would be good for them? Is something they want, you can fulfill on these promises. They don't have, remember, they don't have anything to compare you to.
Yeah. URP doesn't have a baggage. Nobody can point their finger to the URP. URP are here, as I said earlier, to serve. URP, if you get even a few seats in Parliament, is the beginning of a change in Guyana politics. Because we will able to debate in Parliament, and we will able to come to the right decision. As I said earlier, I don't think no political party should dominate the Parliament. Where one party say, this is it, and they keep on doing it, right? But if other political party, and I think some of these young political party who you see formed here too, I think they're the same idea they have, you know, that nobody should dominate their Parliament. The Parliament should be given to other parties who can make representation for the people in Parliament. And URP strongly believe in that. That if we get a few seats, that's the beginning of a change in Guyana.
And as I close, you say a few seats. How many seats are you aiming for?
Some people are saying that we should get about at least 10 seats.
At least 10?
Yeah, some people are saying that.
Oh, okay.
Right, that we should get at least 10 seats.
Well, you aim for the stars always.
Well, you always aim for the stars.
Yes.
Right? And it might surprise you. URP might be the next government in Guyana.
No, we never know. We have to stay true until after March 2nd.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Bandhu, thank you for joining us here today and for
talking
talking with
Lisa.
us. And thank you to our viewers for joining us today. Please join us again tomorrow for yet another episode of The Vantage Point.